At our school, we not only educate the mind, we also educate the soul, the heart, and the whole child. So that is in brief our vision. Then another thing with the Form 4s, we normally have a program. Every Thursday, they normally come to school. Sometimes we have our institute, the Hikmah Institute outside there.
Besides grades, what important skills do you want students to develop for the future?
So in short, the Readers Club is that we shall be giving our student books. They'll be going to read the books. Then after that, we will invite them to our studio to review those books.
And what is offered for students who just want more challenge?
But personally, as a school principal, I think the most important skills in this 21st century is the ability of our student.
How does the school encourage creative subjects like art, music, and drama?
The Diyanet Foundation in Turkey has given a good number scholarship. The Qatar Khairia has given a good number scholarship, and we thank them. In the whole of Somaliland, this is the only school that has a studio.
Welcome to FSM Studio. My name is Siham Ahmed.
And my name is Hana Abdurrahman.
And welcome to our first extended podcast episode,
where we have a special guest, the principal of Fatih Sultan Muhammad School. Welcome, principal.
Okay, thank you very much. My names are Marjan Usama Ismael, the principal of Fatih Sultan Muhammad School. Today I'm very happy to be having two of my best students, that is Siham and Hana. So I'm very grateful to be having you today, and I will be ready to answer most of the questions that you are going to ask me today.
We're going to start our questions with, can you briefly explain the school's mission, vision, and values in a way us students can understand?
Yeah, talking about our school vision, mission, and values, when our school was first established in 2015, we had a very simple but profound vision. That is to create an education that is grounded on Islamic value, academic excellence, and holistic development. So that is brief what our vision is. So when you are talking about the Islamic values, of course, as a school, we not only expect the students to be academically well, but we also expect them to be people who can really understand the Holy Quran, they can understand the Hadith. Talking about academic excellence, this is at the core of this school. This is why the teachers are in this school. So they teach the students so that by the time they finish this school, they can compete outside the world. Then talking about the holistic development part, at our school, we not only educate the mind, we also educate the soul, the heart, and the whole child. So that is in brief our vision. Talking about our mission as a school is to create a learning environment that is safe. Our mission is also to provide a very balanced form of education. And also our mission as a school is to provide and train our students to be confident such that by the time they leave here, they can be part and parcel of the development, not only in Somaliland, but also globally. Now, lastly, talking about our values, we have many values. One of our important values is excellence. And by excellence, we means at-tamayuz. And this is based on the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that say, Inna Allah yuhibbu ahadukum idha amila amalan an yutkina fihi. The Holy Prophet ﷺ in a hadith encourages us to always strive to perfection, to always improve ourselves. Another value is about integrity. In our school, we actually train our students to be always doing the right thing at the right time, at the right time and at the right place. Then we also have this value of being responsible. We normally train our students to be responsible and to always take initiative of doing the right thing. Then lastly, there are many, but let me just give you another one, teamwork. In our school, we encourage our students to work as a team, our teachers to work as a team. And this is in line with the verse of the Holy Quran, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. So this is in brief what our school vision, mission, and values are. Thank you.
What is your dream for Fatih Sultan Muhammad in the next 5 years, and how can students help?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Hannah. That is, what is our dream as a Fatih Sultan Muhammad School in the next 5 years, and how students can be part and parcel of this dream? So, as a school principal, as a school in the next 5 years, we are dreaming of this school being a safe place. We are dreaming of making learning in this school very exciting. We want Fatih Sultan Mohammed to be among the best schools, not only here in Boroma, but also in Somaliland. We are also thinking in the next 5 years of introducing lots of exciting activities, and also we want to enhance the capacity of not only our teachers and but also our students.
Another question is, what is one thing that makes our school special compared to other schools?
Wow, Siam, that's a very interesting question. Like, what makes our school unique compared to the other school? I believe that the diversity of our school is a strength. It is what makes us unique compared to the other school. When students enter our school, they come from different background. But when they come inside our school, we are the FSM family. So our school, we believe in that unity and we believe in that teamwork. That is something that you cannot find in many schools. Another thing that will makes us unique as FSM is our collaboration with the parents. Our parents always know what is happening in the school. We are always in touch with them. So that relationship, it helps not only the student, but it also helps us as a school. So those are some of the things that makes our school unique compared to the other schools. Also, another thing before I forget is about the element of the Quran and Hadith and the element of Islamic values in our school. So in our school, we offer an integrated curriculum that balances both the secular part and the Islamic part. So this blend, actually, you cannot easily find it in other schools. Then lastly, our teachers are the backbone. Our teachers are very unique. Our teachers are very competent and professional.
What new ideas or activities this year do you think will help build a stronger school spirit?
So this year as a school, we are planning to have a lot of activities which we hope will improve, and will enhance the skills of our students. Of course, this year we've started with the classroom decoration as a project. So this is a project that started this semester 1, and mashallah, through the project, many of our students actually showcase their skills and their creativity. Also, we are also planning to have a drawing competition that is in semester 2. Through this drawing competition, we hope actually to see some new talents in our school. Another thing we are thinking of as a school is to introduce what is known as the Readers Club. So in short, the Readers Club is that we shall be giving our student books. They'll be going to read the books. Then after that, we will invite them to our studio to review those books. Then as a school, we are also thinking of having a public speaking corner in the school. So this is a corner where our students will just be meeting in that corner, discussing a lot of issues, not only economic issues, social issues, religious issues. Another thing we are thinking of, this year we are planning to make our learning and teaching even more interesting. We are going to invite our teachers and encourage them to actually use projectors in classes, embrace technology in classes. So those are but some of the few things that we'll hope will make our school even more better. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you. That's a very interesting club, and I hope that you answered this question right. What support is available for students who need extra help, and what is offered for students who just want more challenge?
Now, as a school, of course, we believe that the students need to be supported. And of course, when you come at our school, you'll always find that we have a school sometimes you go to a class with a mixed ability. So students are not the same. This is what in Arabic is known as furuq al-fardiyya. So sometimes you have students who are fast in learning, we have some students who are average, then we have some students who are low. So let me start with the low student. For those students who are struggling there, we normally have, for example, currently with the grade 8 students, we normally have the morning classes. So before our normal classes starts, we normally have the morning classes. So these morning classes are aimed at helping those students who are struggling academically. Then another thing with the Form 4s, we normally have a program. Every Thursday, they normally come to school. Sometimes we have our institute, the Hikma Institute outside there. They are supported, they are given. So it's a kind of a tutorial program outside the school. Then another way we normally help the slow learners, as a school, we have what is known as mentorship. So we normally have we normally assign teachers to help these students, to mentor them, encourage them, motivate them. Also, we normally have guiding and counseling programs, academic guiding and counseling programs. We normally talk to these students. Another important thing is that we normally engage their parents, because it is only when we work with these parents that we are going to help this weaker student. So this is what normally happens down there. Up there with the students who are fast learners, we normally give them projects that are very challenging. That is one way of helping those students. We normally give them challenging assignments. We normally give them projects that can really help them. So those are but some of the ways that we normally actually help the students who are struggling. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Principal. Besides grades, what important skills do you want students to develop for the future?
Wow, that's a very good question, Hannah. So as a school, we've always believed that learning does not only take place inside the class, but learning also takes place outside the class. That is why, as a school principal and as a school, we pay a great deal of attention to the extracurricular activities. So, for example, in our school, we'll have Sundays. It's a day for the extracurricular activities for the upper primary. Then on Tuesday, it is a day for the extracurricular activities for the secondary section. So, through these extracurricular activities, our students, they gain a lot of skills. So there are some leadership skills that are gained in the process. Then we also have the project skills, because we normally give students projects, and they work on this project. So they gain all the skills related to project management. Again, through these extracurricular activities, our students, they gain this skill of decision making. You can imagine, for example, you have been given an assembly program to do what? To present in the assembly. So the classes, they are going to sit together, they are going to make a decision who is going to present A, who is going to present B. So these activities actually enhance the decision-making skills of our students. But personally, as a school principal, I think the most important skills in this 21st century is the ability of our student to learn and relearn. To learn and relearn. That is why the motto of our school is learning today, leading tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Principal. There is another interesting question I'd really ask you. How does the school encourage creative subjects like art, music, and drama?
Of course, as I've mentioned earlier, we normally have what is known as the extracurricular activities of the school. So through the extracurricular activities of the schools, we normally have programs that support art. And that is why I told you, for example, this semester, you're having the classroom decoration. So that was a project that was actually supporting the art in our school. Then another thing that we think will also support art is what is going, I've already said it will happen next semester, and this is going to be the drawing competition. So through the drawing competition, we hope that the students are going actually to showcase what they're having. Now also come next semester, we are thinking of having an art club. So basically talking about an art club, this art club, we are going to give them a special class. We are going to have a teacher who is going to nurture our students who have some special talents, for example, in drama, in arts, there are basically many things. So that is, in a nutshell, some of our plans to improve the art, the drama in our school. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Principal. How is our school using technology or teaching methods to help us learn better?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Anna, because talking about the 21st century, technology should be at the heart of any successful school. So as a school, of course, we have, or we normally encourage our teachers when they are teaching to actually use technology or modern learning tools in class. So some of our teachers sometimes, we normally have lessons in class, and sometimes the teachers will go to YouTube, find some videos, some clips that are associated with the lesson, and come and share it with the students in class. Then also during the pandemic period, that was during the corona time, actually we moved to online teaching. So we embraced the online teaching, and it really helped us a lot. While other schools, they were really struggling with the traditional way, our school embraced technology, and we were teaching our students and we were sending lessons to them through the different platforms. Then currently we're working on a project of the online assessment. We are thinking how best can we integrate online assessment in our teaching. So we have the ICT team in our school. They are working on an online platform that teachers will be using it to do what? To set questions. Then after that, we shall be sending these links to the parents through their WhatsApp, for example, and the students, they will be doing the assignment in their houses. So this is one way we hope that it will not only help the students, but also the parents, they will be engaged. Another thing, of course, is the use of projectors in classes. Most of our teachers, they normally use the projectors in classes. And currently, of course, as a school, we have what is known as the Management Information System. So this is a system that manages all the results in this school, the grading and the results. Also the Management Information System, it manages our accounts and our finance. Also this Management Information System, it manages the school attendance. So as a school, this is what we are thinking. And moving forward, we are thinking of investing and having the computer lab. So what we are thinking of in the future, the upper primary, they are going to have their computer lab. The secondary section, they are going to have their computer lab fully equipped. And also the lower primary is going to have fully equipped computer lab. Thank you very much.
I would like to ask you another question, but in the same question. How did it feel like teaching in online?
Actually, at first it was a mixed experience. At first it was very challenging because, number one, most of our teachers, they did not have the capacity actually to use the online platform. So what we had to do as a school, number one, was to train our teachers. So after training them, wow, the feeling was unimaginable. They really liked that experience. Then also our students, some of them, they were not familiar with this issue of technology. So we also trained them by then during the corona time. Also the parents, we also had a meeting with them, and we also informed them about the new experience. So in a nutshell, the online experience, it was something that was very good. And of course, that is where the world is moving on. The world is moving towards AI, and we don't want to be left behind. And even before I forget, this week we are going to have a training. We're going to train our students in how to use the AI ethically. And we believe this is going to be a game changer. And just last month, we actually trained our secondary school students in how to use the Microsoft Excel, the Microsoft Word, So the feeling is just good and amazing. This is where the world is moving, and we also want to move there. Thank you.
What do you think about students using AI or other platforms for their schoolworks, assignments?
Wow, that's a very interesting question. We cannot deny that AI is there. AI is a reality. And of course, the AI has advantages and disadvantages. Some of the advantages of AI, it is that it makes our work easier. It saves time, it also saves a lot of energy, and it also saves us a lot of resources. So AI is a game changer, especially in the 21st century. But the problem now is there are some students, sometimes they are given assignment and they normally do what? And they normally misuse it. They use it in a very unethical way. And that is why as a school we are going to train our students how to use the AI in an ethical way. So we cannot just say that we don't want to embrace AI. No. AI is going to be part and parcel of our school program. Even our teachers, they use the AI in their lesson plans, in generating exams, So it is a part and parcel of the school. But in our school, mashallah, we are using it in an ethical way, and we also encourage our students to use it in an ethical way. Thank you.
What support does the school offer?
Sorry, again?
What support does the school offer for student stress, issues, and even mental health?
Wow, that's a very interesting question. Of course, as a school, we normally face a lot of challenges with our students. Some of these challenges are social challenges. Some of these problems are economic, financial challenges. And some of these problems are even mental problems. So for example, sometimes you have students who have some social or family problems. The father and the mother, they are not living together. And if we don't monitor this case, sometimes it can be detrimental. It can affect the students. So sometimes in our school, we normally have meeting with those students. We talk to them. We also engage their parents, because we don't want the separation in any way to affect the academics of the students. Now, sometimes we also have students who are struggling financially, and because they're struggling financially, sometimes they miss classes because their parents cannot just pay school fee. That is why as a school, we have a policy of doing what? We have a policy of giving our students scholarship. We have like almost half the population of the school, you can imagine, they're studying on scholarship. The Diyanet Foundation in Turkey has given a good number scholarship. The Qatar Khairia has given a good number scholarship, and we thank them actually for all this work they are doing. Then sometimes we normally have the guiding and counseling to help those students who are depressed. So we normally assign, especially the Islamic teachers, to talk to these students one-on-one. And sometimes we also have our school nurse. So this nurse, she's really trained. And sometimes if we feel there are some cases that need special attention, we can talk to the nurse to address those issues.
How can you give advice to those who are struggling with education?
And how can you help them within their internal struggles or with their academic?
Best advice we can just tell our students is that they have to be responsible, because it is their education, their parents have invested in them. So number one, our students, they need to take that initiative. They should not wait for the teachers to remind them. They should not wait for the parents to push them or the school principal to push them. That is why at the core values of our school is responsibility. So I advise all our students to be responsible. Then number two, to always work hard, to always revise to revise their notes and review their. We have some students actually, they always read when the exam is closed, and because of that they normally score low marks. So what we need from our students is to create a culture of reading. We have a library in our school, so we need our students to make good of these resources. Another thing is we need our students to be very careful when they are choosing their friends. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ was very clear in a hadith, Al-mar'u ma'adini khalilihi. So the kind of friend that you choose will determine if you're going to be successful in your life or if you're not going to be successful. If you have good friends, they are going to guide you to do right things. The opposite is also true. If you have friends who are not working hard, who are not praying, who are not reading the Holy Quran, then what is going to happen? You're not going to do all those things. So another advice is our students, they always have to be careful about the kinds of friends they choose. Now,
How can students make the best use of facilities like studio, library, and labs?
Well, that's an interesting question. As a school, at Fatih Sultan Muhammad School, number one, we have the library. I invite all the students to be using the library. We want to create remember our motto. I keep reminding students, our motto is learning today, leading tomorrow. How can you learn? You can only learn by frequently and regularly visiting the library. You can borrow books from the library. Number two, we now have this FSM studio, and this is going to be a game changer in this school. I encourage our students to always prepare. If they have a book they want to review, they can use this. If, for example, they have, what can I say? Any kind of extracurricular activities, Islamic programs can be recorded in this studio. Academic programs can also be recorded in this studio. And most importantly, we have lots of classes here. These classes are our resources. We encourage students during the weekend to just come to school, use these resources, read, and we hope that they have good marks.
Thank you.
Okay. This is a little bit of a personal question to you. What was your favorite subject in school and why did you enjoy it?
Wow, that's a good question. My favorite subject during my time in secondary school specifically was history. Actually, I enjoyed learning history. And it is because when you are learning history, it opens your mind. Now, when you're learning history, you only don't learn about what happened in the past. So this background of what happened in the past, it also helps you to understand even the future better. And even if you go to the Holy Quran, you will find the Holy Quran is all about history. So you cannot live the present without understanding the future. So I really like history, and in fact I was always the best student in history from Form 1 to Form 4. So that was one of the subjects I really liked. Then when I joined university, the best subject that I really liked was related to development, it was called Atanya Iktiswadia and economic development, and in general anything related to development. It was very interesting because we live in Africa, and in Africa you can imagine we are lagging behind compared to the first world country. So this course actually opened my mind. That is, if we want to develop as Africa, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? So I really liked that subject a lot.
Why was history so special to you? And how did the people around you react when you chose that course?
As I told you, I really like history because it really helped me. It really helped in opening my mind. I got to learn many things that used to happen before. And based on that, even now as a leader, you need history to build your current leadership style. So that is one way I can say history really actually helped me. I don't know if you got me. Now,
what is the hardest part of being principal and what makes the job rewarding?
Sorry?
What is the hardest part of being principal and what makes the job rewarding?
Yeah, of course, being a school principal, the most challenging thing sometimes, number one, there are very many. Let me give like around 3 or 4. Number one of the most challenging tasks is sometimes when you're dealing with difficult parents. Sometimes you have students, maybe they are struggling in school, not just behaviorally, but academically. Sometimes you call this parent to your office, but sometimes you'll find parents acting defensively. They don't want to be receptive. They don't want to live to the idea that their students might be having some weaknesses. So because of that, sometimes it can be very frustrating because as a school, you always want to work closely with the parent. Another thing that sometimes I find it very challenging is sometimes we have some students who of course, we normally talk to our students, but sometimes there are some students, they don't listen frequently. We just advise them, and they don't listen. And because of that, they lag behind academically. So it's very challenging to deal with students who don't follow instruction. But of course, as a school, we have measures in place to always deal. We have policies that normally help us to deal with the misbehavior in our school. So those are some of the. Another thing that sometimes I find it challenging. You have some bright students, but sometimes they cannot afford to pay school fee. Sometimes this thing is very disturbing. This student is very bright, but just because they don't have the school fee, you find them, for example, being absent, not attending classes. So as a school principal, sometimes it can be very frustrating. But on the flip side, there are many things that normally make me happy as a school principal. There are some students who are always in school striving to improve themselves. Students who always want to move to the next level. Students who you always see. There are some students who are very good academically, and also they are very active in the extracurricular activity. Another thing that makes me happy, there are some parents who are really helping us in this school, because we cannot be successful without the support of the parent. Some parents, they are very supportive. And I cannot even forget our teachers. Our teachers, they give us a reason as leaders to be here, because they are very professional in whatever they are doing. Now,
Thank you. Who was a role model for you growing up, and what lessons did they teach you?
So my role model, of course, it has been my mother. My mother has always been my role model. Of course, we come from a very humble background, and my mother actually struggled with me a lot, especially when it came to paying the school fee. So I really believe that she is my role model, and she has really done a lot for me, and I just hope that Allah will actually reward her with Jannah. And I always look up to her. When I'm stressed on a daily basis, I will always call her. Sometimes I normally have challenges in school, stress up, but when I leave the school, I call my mother, and my mother will always tell me, hey, calm down, Marjan, things will be okay, this is life, don't be sad. So I really appreciate her. Thank you very much.
What is one piece of advice would you give to every student?
Yeah, the most important piece of advice I would like to give my students is to always be patient. As-sabr. Life is not easy, especially when you are a student. You are going to face a lot of challenges, not only in this school, but even when you graduate from this school. So I like to encourage my students, to advise them to always be patient enough. Yeah.
Okay. Our school motto is learning today, leading tomorrow. What does that mean to you as the school principal?
As a school principal, learning today, leading tomorrow is very short in itself, but the meaning is very big. So when we are talking about learning today, it is the academic part of our school. Leading tomorrow is the extracurricular activity part. So as a school, we normally strike a balance of what is happening in class versus what is happening outside the class. So we normally have the learning part. The students are always in class. The teachers are teaching them. The students are doing homework. The students are doing the assignment. They need to carry their textbooks. Then on the flip side, we normally have the leading part. So in our school, we believe the extracurricular activity helps a lot in building and enabling our students to be leaders. That is why as a school, we invest a lot in extracurricular activities, because we believe that, in fact, personally as a school principal, I believe that because some students might be struggling academically, but on the flip side, they are very good academically. There are some students who are very good in sports, but they are not good academically. So if they realize their talent in football, they might be the best. They might be the next Messi. They might be the next Ronaldo. So our school, we are balancing between these two things, such that by the time a student leaves our school, you will actually live and appreciate this motto.
Thank you, viewers, for watching, and thank you, Mr. Principal, for your special time. And remember, this is the first podcast. There is more to go. It's just the start of the adventure. What is your parting shot?
Okay, thank you very much, Siham. Thank you very much, Hana, for this interview. And as Siham has just said, this is just the beginning. More things are in line, more things are coming. This is our FSM studio at Fateh Sultan Mohammed School. I think in the whole of Somaliland, this is the only school that has a studio. We are going to have a lot of programs here, both academic program and Islamic program. Stay in touch. Thank you very much.